Hello YouTube, HillBilly here. Got another review for you. I picked up a Craftool Deluxe Leather Splitter here again back at first of the year. It's a 379500, and I'm not sponsored, by the way, for this review. I've been wanting to pick up one of these machines for a little while just so that I can skive, split some leather, mainly for tapered type skives on belts and stuff. Basically, this is what you see. What you see here is what you get. You've got a 6-inch precision ground blade. It has a handle here that you can adjust the roller. It's got a little bar here, spring loaded, that holds the leather down. And then on both sides, you've got these adjustments that you can actually adjust the height, the total height of the roller there. And then there's a tensioning or a tightening knob here. You can actually tighten it down to a certain height and then lock it in place so that you cannot adjust it by using the handle itself. I mounted it to this board just simply so that I can mount it down to the bench here. Eventually I will find a permanent home for it. Got some clamps here. Thought I'd show you. I've been messing with it here just a little bit prior to doing it. So I've heard a lot of good stuff about them. I actually picked it up first of the year on their end of the year sale. I've got the wholesale club. I'm an elite member so that I get a little bit better prices. I wouldn't have bought it probably if I hadn't had that, and also that if they hadn't had a sale on it, because they're fairly expensive items. But I can see why now after looking at it and handling it and actually cutting some leather with it, skiving a little bit. Anyways, I got some leather here, and I've got it kind of preset for some 9-10 ounce material here. I was going to turn around and show you how you pull this handle back to open that roller, and then I believe you always put the flesh side in, and then you just give it a pull. I've got it already adjusted for it. As you see this, well, yeah. Let's go back through it again. That didn't work as well as I thought it would. There you go. Now, there, I've got the tapered type skive on it. And it's so that I can roll this back around and do my sewing. Put my belt buckle in. I can either do the snaps or the sewing. But anyways, that'll make it much nicer, especially after you bevel your edges and slick your edges. It's going to make it much nicer fit here, as you can see. Gets down pretty thin. Got another piece here. I believe it's about a 9 ounce, 8-9 ounce. I thought I'd actually split this one. And what you should do is get yourself just a little section here, and then you come up, bring it out, take your first piece off. And man, is that thing sharp. I would not want to cut myself with it. Man, that would just open you wide up. And then start your other piece here and grab from behind here again. And get it started. Bring this through. Man, oh days. Now that, my friend, is splitting some leather. That is just amazing, as you can see it here. It's 2 equal pieces, or pretty close, and actually that all determines on your adjustment. I have seen a couple videos on YouTube There's a gentleman on there. If I remember, I'll try and put a link on there. The guy came up with some really slick ideas. He'd actually cut several different pieces of leather, made like little tags about this long, and it skived them all at different sizes and widths, which were equal parts of different pieces, and he uses them as a gauge. So what you would do is stick that in there and adjust these adjusting knobs to the thickness of the piece of leather. But he uses them like paint swatches instead of the dye swatches. Excuse me. Instead of the dye swatches, it would be thickness, and he had them all the way from, gee whiz, maybe 2 ounce all the way up to like 12, 14 ounce. And he poked a little hole, put a little keychain thing around them, so then that way it was real quick to adjust these. Instead of messing around with the little adjustment, you can just stick that in there and adjust it till the piece actually moves back and forth, nice and neat, smooth like that. And that's kind of what I just did here a little bit. Thought I'd try maybe a taper skive on this one, where it would just start a little bit here. Let me give it another try. And then it gets deeper. And I might have to go. This takes a little practice, but once you get used to it, man, this thing's just amazing. There you go. Another tapered skive. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this. It's a short little video, but you're in the field there to get yourself a little skiving machine. I really think this is a good heavy duty one. Looks like a lot of the parts here are pretty common parts. This blade here, I'm sure that somebody would sharpen that. You can send it off to a sharpening place. I think it's it's definitely precision ground. And anyways, if you've enjoyed this video, subscribe, give me a thumbs up, maybe even thumbs down. Put some comments in there. Until the next time, enjoy.